They thought they could hurt you and walk away untouched. They laughed behind your back, twisted the knife, and watched you bleed in silence. To them, it was just a game, one they believed they'd already won. No consequences, no accountability, just ego and the damage they left behind. They mistook your silence for surrender, your stillness for weakness, and worst of all, they believed the pain would fade like it never mattered. But what they didn't realize is, pain doesn't vanish, it waits, it watches, and when the time is right, it returns. Not gently, louder, heavier, and crueler than before, because the pain they gave you is returning to them tenfold. Not because you plotted revenge, but because the universe keeps receipts, because God doesn't blink and justice never forgets. They thought they got away with it. They acted like their actions had no weight, like the damage they caused was someone else's problem. They smiled, convinced they'd never be held accountable. But what they didn't see was that life always comes full circle. You didn't react, not because you were weak, but because you were wise. Your silence wasn't surrender, it was strength. They never escaped anything, they only delayed it. Now, slowly and without warning, the consequences are catching up. The universe balances everything, even when people think it won't. And God, He saw it all. Every silent tear, every moment you questioned your worth. That pain didn't fade, it waited, and now it's on its way back. Your silence was never fear. You chose peace over chaos. You didn't respond to their cruelty because you valued your own soul. They were loud in their disrespect. You were quiet in your strength, and they never understood that. They thought walking away made you weak, but walking away was the strongest thing you could have done. It takes power to stay calm when you want to scream. Discipline to trust that something greater would handle the pain they caused. You let go, not because you didn't care, but because you cared too much about your own peace. While they thought they were winning, you were healing, processing, growing stronger. Every tear, every night you questioned your value, it was building something powerful within you. They thought their betrayal would break you, that you'd never rise again. But you didn't just survive, you transformed. And now, without lifting a single finger, you're watching the balance shift. The pain is circling back, not because you wished it, but because that's how the universe works. You didn't need to stoop to their level. You didn't fight dirty, because life teaches louder lessons than words ever could. You chose the high road, and now they're the ones stuck, chained by the very pain they tried to bury you with. They're starting to feel it, the pressure, the imbalance. Their peace is slipping. Relationships are cracking, and deep down they know why. They don't always recognize it right away. It comes in waves, restless nights, broken trust, that empty feeling they can't explain. Moments where the truth resurfaces, where they remember how they treated you, and now your absence is louder than any argument ever could be. You're not chasing them, not trying to explain. You've let go. And that silence, that space you've created, that's what haunts them now. They've lost access to your love, your loyalty, your presence, and now there's no going back. This is their reckoning. The pain they handed out is now sitting at their doorstep. They're facing the reflection of their own actions. There's no one left to comfort them, clean it up, or take the blame. The lies they told are being told to them. The betrayals they gave are showing up in their own lives, and they can't figure out why everything feels like it's falling apart. They might blame others. They might make excuses. But alone, The truth creeps in. It's not just guilt, it's regret. The realization that their choices planted the very chaos they're drowning in now. It hits them late at night, when the noise fades and they remember what they had and how they ruined it. They remember your loyalty, your love, your patience, and how they took it all for granted. But you're not thinking about them. You've outgrown that chapter. You're healing, building, becoming someone even stronger. You're not watching their downfall with bitterness. You're not watching at all. That's what stings the most. They expected you to wait, to chase, to keep forgiving, but you're done. And now they're left with the weight of what they lost. Their storm isn't yours to carry. You stepped off the battlefield and into your peace. They had a chance and they blew it. And that kind of regret, it lingers. This isn't revenge, it's justice. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet kind. You didn't force anything. You just stepped back and healed. Because when people hurt those who only wanted to love them, there's always a cost, and that cost doesn't ask for permission. It just shows up. You don't need their apology to move on. You don't need to see their regret to feel closure. You're free because you let go. And that's what makes this justice so complete. You didn't fight fire with fire. You walked away from the flames. And now, while they sit in the aftermath, you're building something real. That's the real win. Not their downfall, but your rise. You're no longer defined by their betrayal. You've turned their absence into space for something greater. Let them face what they created. That's their story now. Yours is just getting started.